One of the biggest staples of the horror genre is a good plot twist. It's a genre in the world of cinema that relies on mystery and suspense, so when the final third of the movie rolls around, viewers are expecting a twist that turns the entire movie on its head. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary horror movie twists you didn't see coming. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, Cabin in the Woods, 2012. Directed by Drew Goddard and released in 2012, The Cabin in the Woods is a horror comedy produced by the absolute legend, Joss Whedon. The plot follows a group of college students who retreat to a remote forest cabin, where they in turn fall victim to backwoods zombies, and the technicians who manipulate events from an underground facility. And that right there is the particular twist we're going to be discussing. To quote user Lauren H, it starts out as a normal horror movie, then all of a sudden you realize it's all some kind of game and the main character unleashes all of the monsters used in the game on the game controllers. And that they do. The film begins as an homage to the horror genre as a whole, even making light of the tropes used in the genre. Much like the movie Scream, with each character embodying a polar opposite personality than what you would typically find in a horror movie. The blonde is incredibly smart, the jock is smart and caring, the stoner saves the day, the virgin isn't really a virgin. They never are. It gifts you with classic tropes only to blow them up in your face within the first few minutes. Now let's discuss the aforementioned technicians. Inside a lab, Citizen and Holdy remotely control the cabin in the woods, in turn manipulating the students by intoxicating them with mind-altering drugs that have effects such as hindering rational thinking and increasing libido. Not too bad. AKA altering their minds to fit them into classic horror movie molds. The lab department takes bets on what kind of monster will attack the students, however they get their comeuppance when the students discover their nasty game and seek revenge on their attackers. 2 of the surviving students infiltrate the lab and trigger what can only be described as the purge. They release every single monster stored away in the lab and in turn invoke a bloodbath. Now the twist? Well, the director, played by Sigourney Weaver, explains that each region of the world have an annual ritual of human sacrifice, which are held to appease the Ancient Ones, a group of cruel subterranean deities. The students must be sacrificed in order to save the world from a horrific cataclysm. It's a mighty twist with an even mightier ending. I highly recommend. In at 4, You're Next, 2011. You're Next is perhaps one of the most refreshing horror movies I've seen in a very long time, because not only is it unique in its formula, but it also revitalizes the trope of the final girl. Directed by Adam Wingard and released in 2011, the plot concerns a family under attack by a group of masked assailants during their wedding anniversary getaway. Now the movie specifically follows Erin and her boyfriend Crispian, who during the anniversary onslaught try to survive while fending off masked attackers. However, halfway through the movie we discover that Crispian may not be as innocent as we originally thought, and instead we find out that he staged the entire home invasion in order to kill off his family and receive the hefty inheritance. Lovely guy, what a gem, son of the year. Erin, after discovering her boyfriend's plot, sets up traps around the home, Home Alone style, in order to trap him and his accomplices. Erin sets up a trap at the front door, and as Fox Mask, one of the killers, enters the home through a window, she ambushes and kills him in the basement. And Erin, being the boss that she is, even kills Crispian after discovering his plot. However, here's where things get twisty. A policeman arrives to the home and shoots Erin in the shoulder, having seen her kill Crispian. After calling for backup, he enters the home and accidentally becomes the target of Erin's front door trap that was intended for the killers. It's a fantastic twist with an even better ending that in turn criminalizes our final girl, who we were rooting for the entire movie. So much respect for this movie, and so much respect for my queen. Coming in at number 3, Goodnight Mummy, 2014. There are a few things in horror scarier than strange kids, and the nightmarish Austrian movie Goodnight Mummy, and that says a lot. Directed by Veronica Franz and released in 2014, the plot follows twin boys who move into a new home with their mother after she has undergone face-changing cosmetic surgery. But under her bandages is someone the children don't quite recognize anymore. Twins Elias and Lucas spend their days days playing in and around a huge isolated home, attempting to avoid their mother, a woman who the pair are convinced is not, in fact, their mother. So what do the sick and twisted boys do? They tie her to the bed and torture her in order to find out the truth. However, the truth is by no means what we were expecting. It turns out the car accident that disfigured the mother's face also killed Lucas, and Elias has been playing out a bizarre fantasy in his head that his brother is still alive and with him. Elias ends up burning his home down and killing his mother in the process, with the final shot of the movie showing Elias and Lucas walking through the cornfield and emerging to be with their mother. The end in turn hints at the fact that Elias burned alongside his mother, and the three are now together in the afterlife. Now, the movie focuses so much on the concept of the changeling that you never for even a second consider the fact that one of the twins is dead. I'm still shook at this twist. Shooketh. Coming in at number 2, Saw 2004. In comparison to the ridiculous and convoluted sequels that follow, the original Saw is actually a genuinely well-made movie and a superb horror with an even greater twist. A twist that I truly believe we don't talk about enough. Directed by James Wan and released in 2004, the plot concerns two men who awake to find themselves chained in a large dilapidated bathroom, with one being ordered to kill the other or his family will die. Now, the villain of the movie is of course the evil Jigsaw, who threatens the two men who are each chained to a wall at the opposite ends of the bathroom. In the middle, however, is a seemingly dead man and presumed former victim of the game. However, in the final sequence of the movie, we watch on as one of the men cuts off his own foot and escapes the trap, while the other is left to rot. He isn't alone, because in the final revelation, the corpse stands up, revealing himself to be none other than Jigsaw himself. Worse still, it is revealed to the lost cause that he could have set himself free at any time, because the key to his trap was in the bathtub the entire time. However, it slipped down the drain, leaving him to die in the rundown bathroom, as Jigsaw opens the door and walks away, stating the iconic words, "Game over." And finally coming in at number 1, The Orphanage 2007. This movie has perhaps not just the greatest horror movie twist of all time, but also the saddest. I shed a tear, and that says a lot. I don't cry. Directed by J.A. Bayona and released in 2007, the plot centers on Laura, who returns to her childhood home, an orphanage. Laura plans to turn the house into a home for disabled children, but after an argument with Laura, her adopted son Simon goes missing. The film was J.A. Bayona's directorial debut and is perhaps one of the greatest Spanish language chillers of all time. The final twist is both clever and utterly tragic, and will leave you sobbing into the end credits. Now, after her son goes missing in the home, Laura begins to be tormented by the spirits of the orphanage's former residents, the children. They make noises tapping on the walls and appearing to her during the night. However, it turns out the strange sounds that Laura has been hearing were not ghosts after all, but Simon himself, who had accidentally become trapped in the cellar, fallen down the stairs and in turn broken his neck. Devastating, right? Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any horror movie twists that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 5 scariest places on Earth, part 3. JW said, people have been mentioning top 5 silent horror films. I second that. Well, I third that. That's an incredible idea. I'm gonna make it happen, one way or another. Legend has it no one has ever seen Lucy smile. Lock the Fox said, the number 1 scariest place on Earth, the depths of Lucy's dark soul. You are an incredibly intelligent person. Well done. Brandon Gordon said, don't upset the Queen, she will haunt your dreams. Huh, you say that like I'm not already haunting your dreams. Specifically yours, Brandon Gordon. I know where you live. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary bit. And until next time, see you later.